Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, for some new game announcements, to some delays, to one of the most boring showcases that I've ever seen in my entire life. But first of all, we have EverQuest, my very first MMO that I ever played when I was in college. I loved this thing. I was addicted, literally, I was addicted to EverQuest back in the day. I was the very first shaman on my server, Vazael, to reach level 60 and to get the epic weapon as well. It was a huge deal for me, so anyway, EverQuest Legends is coming out in July, and this is really cool. This is experiencing classic EverQuest. We're talking EverQuest way back before even like Ruins of Kunark came out. I think I started right whenever Scars of Velius started to come out and everything, and I was just, oh my gosh, I was so excited. I love this game. Me and my friend John played all the time. I was all about this, but EverQuest Legend is a little bit different. It says that it's being remade and redesigned from the ground up to appeal to players who enjoy playing their game solo or casually. I love playing a game solo. I have no friends. I don't want to play online. I'm good. Love playing this thing solo. It says you can have groups of up to 4 players and raids up to 8 players are available. However, the entire game can be played, enjoyed, and experienced solo if that is your playstyle. I happen to recall that the groups in the original EverQuest were 6 players, and then raids, I think you had like 30-something players in a raid. I mean, you just had all the groups together. It just was what it was. And given with this approach to the game, EverQuest Legends provides players with the ability to create immensely powerful characters by, among other things, selecting up to 3 active different classes per character. Wow, that sounds amazing. Like, I always wanted to be like a mage, because I could have my pet and, use that. You could have the earth pet, the wind pet, the water pet, but like mage never got root. And I always like being a shaman as well, but shamans got root and kind of some crowd control and things like that. They can also cannibalize, so they can like re-get their MP, the damage shields of the mage, the pets of the shaman, the pets of the mage, the direct nukes, the heals of the shaman, maybe bring in like a monk or something for some damage. I don't know, like this sounds amazing. It says, as you level up and improve your gear in EverQuest Legends, you'll eventually gain the ability to take on most of the difficult game content, whether alone or within a small group of friends. So yeah, it says, at launch, EverQuest Legends will feature the continent of Antonica, which is pre-Kunark, and all the EverQuest playable races, including Iskar, Froglocks, and Karen. I only remember the Iskar race. I don't remember the Froglocks, but I see them in the trailer right there. All featured the original EverQuest art style, including the classic graphics, zones, spell effects, loot, and music, plus more than a few new surprises. I began this game in college, and I had to quit this game in college too, because I remember I got my first C. I had never gotten a C in my entire life, never in high school or anything, never in college, never, and I got a C, and I was like, oh my god! It like freaked me out, and I quit cold turkey right then and there. I was like, nope. I have to hunker down, I have to study, and yeah, the rest is history. But at the time, I loved EverQuest. We have another Ys novelization. This time it is for Ys Monstrum Nox, and you can order a hardcover book for $35, even signed and dedicated for $35. Unsigned, still $35. But yeah, this is really freaking cool. This is basically, the game, but in a novel form. And it's a hardcover book, all that kind of stuff. I actually got the Ys 8 novelization from this same company, and I devoured that book. It was so freaking good, y'all. So yeah, it says right now it's a pre-order. You'll be charged as soon as you place the order, but the book will ship at release this April. So if you want to go ahead and get this novelization as well, I will include links below for that. Nintendo published Switch 2 games will have separate physical and digital pricing starting in May. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book will be priced at $60 digitally, $70 physically. This is only for Nintendo published exclusive Switch 2 titles. It says Nintendo games offer the same experiences whether in packaged or digital format, and this change simply reflects the different costs associated with producing and distributing each format and offers players more choices in how they can buy and play Nintendo games. As always, retail partners set their own prices for physical and digital games, and pricing for each title may vary. I've always thought that digital games should be cheaper than physical games because, they're digital. There's no plastic involved. There's no shipping involved. There's no logistics involved in it. It's just, on an eShop or something, you click download and then you're just done. So it's kind of strange that it's taken 16 something years for this to finally happen, but here it is. Also, I think this is kind of a slippery slope as well, insofar as Nintendo wanting to get rid of physical games in their entirety. We've already seen it with the game key cards, where they're like, oh, we have these physical games, they could, choose this option, but they're so expensive, so we're going to give them these game key cards, which nobody wants, and they're not really selling all that well, so then Nintendo sees that, and rather than being like, oh, nobody wants a game key card, they're like, oh, nobody wants it physically, so we're just going to stop producing things physically. Then it gets the double whammy of physical editions costing more than digital editions, and then people are going to stop buying the physicals, and then again Nintendo's going to say, oh, well, nobody wants physical, we're just going to get rid of physical. And this is their way of slowly but surely phasing out physical and ushering in a digital only future. I remember when the Switch 2 first launched, and I was like, oh, they're going to be like the savior of the physical games. Xbox is going, all digital. PlayStation wants, only a digital hard drive on theirs. They don't even want a disc drive on theirs. But Switch, they never do that. Kids love to open up Christmas presents and actually see a physical game. And then Nintendo themselves have been spearheading the death of physical. And while some people might, celebrate this because it is cheaper, I think that we need to look at the long term of what this actually means, the long-term implications of what will happen here. Because once they control their digital platform, their digital market, their eShop, where these Nintendo games will only be, they're never going to be on the PlayStation Store, they're never going to be on Steam, they're only going to be on the Nintendo eShop, and since there won't be any physical releases, there won't be any competition to their eShop. So they can just have these things at whatever price they want to and never, ever, ever put them on sale ever, ever again. And this is the digital hellscape that we are going to be living in, and it sucks. And more proof that we're truly living in the worst timeline available. The PS5 and PlayStation Portal price increases have been announced. The PS5 is going up $100. We're getting a $150 increase for the PS5 Pro and a $50 increase for the PlayStation Portal. And it says the move is in response to continued pressures and the global economic landscape, which is code for the tariffs, the war, the recession. Yeah, so do with that information what you will. I remember back in the day, whenever you would buy, they came out with a new NES. You might not know this. So they had the NES, and then they had the SNES, but they also had a new NES, which was like this top-loading thing. It was like orange or whatever instead of the gray, and it was only $50. It was only $50 back in the day. So back in the day, whenever, the console generations wore on and on and on, the consoles went down in price. But we are in the worst timeline, and our consoles are now going up in price. Great. Inazuma 11 Victory Road, fourth free major update, the Rising Bond DLC, will launch on March the 31st. The announcement reads, as Sonny Wright and his friends battle their way through the Football Frontier International, powerful opponents from around the world stand before them, one after another. And with the final showdown fast approaching, Vic takes on the path of trials. So if you are playing this game, you now have a fourth update that you can implement. So that's really cool. If you haven't, get it. It's a great game. It is out for the PS5, PS4, Xbox, Switch, Switch 2, and PC. Lisa Barlow's back. I love this. Yeah. I'm trying. Blue Reflection Quartet announced for the PS5, Switch 2, Switch, and PC, due out on July the 30th. It says that this is console remakes of the anime Blue Reflection Ray and the mobile game Blue Reflection Sun. So we're getting 4 different games here. The 2 console games, we're getting an anime, and we're also getting a mobile game launching worldwide. In the West, though, it will be digital-only release. In Japan, it will be physical. I will say this. these games, these console games, are very expensive. So this is a great opportunity to play through these games on the cheap, get it, budget while you still can, and get all of them. So yeah. It says the Blue Reflection series depicts the emotions and bonds of teenage girls across a variety of mediums, with character design and series supervision by famed illustrator Mel Kishida. Blue Reflection Quartet contains all 4 of these emotional stories in a single collection. New features make the series more accessible than ever before, with a detailed look at the setting that will help newcomers understand events and provide a deeper look for returning fans. So it has Blue Reflection, which is the first console game, then Blue Reflection Ray. Then we have, it says that this game, the Blue Reflection Ray tells a condensed version of the story. Then Blue Reflection Sun, which is a mobile game, told the story of a team of girls living in a dying world as they hold in hope for the future. And then Blue Reflection Second Light, which is the sequel to Blue Reflection. Then there's also some sort of reference database included as well. So this is really cool news. I thought it was unusual that they were doing a 9th anniversary celebration stream thing, and I'm like, why would they, do it for the 9th anniversary? Why not the 10th anniversary? Well, this is why. Pokemon Champions for the Nintendo Switch launches on April the 8th. So it says that Switch 2 owners will be able to enjoy the game with cleaner graphics via a free update. But the game is free also, so they're like, oh, it's a free update, but the entire game is free. So they're not selling you anything, give me a break, stupid. As previously announced, this is an iOS and Android version that will follow later on in 2026. They're like, we have a free game, but we're also gonna give you a free update. Well, no frickin' shit. You're gonna give me it's a free game. What do you want from me? But it isn't just a free to play game. No siree, Bob. This is Nintendo that we're talking about. This is a free to start game. And we all know what that means. Free to start. You can start it, but then you're gonna be priced out of it if you don't pay up, fork over that cash. Yeah. It's focused on building a team of Pokemon and engaging in online battles against other players. These battles use familiar mechanics from previous Pokemon RPG series such as Pokemon types, abilities, and moves, enabling the rich and varied battle strategies that trainers may already be familiar with. So you can start it up for free and then shell out your cash later on. Don't you just love this? In one breath, Square Enix is like, hey, everybody needs to play Dissidia, this great new mobile game that are coming out. Yoshi P saying, I hope that this new Dissidia game inspired by social media will bring in all these young kids. Isn't this gonna be so great? And then in the other breath, War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius to end service on May the 28th in Japan, 1 year after the global version also ended service. But hey, aren't you so excited to play Dissidia? Yeah. This first launched for the iOS and Android November the 14th in 2019, followed by 2020 worldwide. Global service ended in 2025. Then they go on to talk about an offline version of this game, like we've seen, maybe a console version or whatever, but apparently it's too hard. Do you remember what else was too hard? Making towns in Final Fantasy 13. I'm not gonna dig up the quote, but believe me, I recall back when. Why aren't there any towns in Final Fantasy 13? It's too hard. Too hard. An offline version of the game was considered to preserve the experience, but it was deemed too difficult to properly recreate because it relies heavily on online battles, guild content, and player interaction. However, Square Enix is actively preparing special videos to revisit the story as well as a memorial book. So I guess you'll get to see a video and you'll get a book, but the game itself, dead. Man, I'm not gonna roll today. It's just bad news after bad news after bad news, but let's hopefully have some good news now. Let's see what we got in our next story. Amiibo, Animu, I don't know, adds PS5 version, creature catching action RPG playable at PAX East. Okay, so it's a free-to-play open-world creature capturing RPG launching for the PS5 and PC, alongside its previously announced Xbox and PC, iOS, and Android versions in 2026. A lot of free-to-play stuff happening right now. Good God. On the vast continent of Idle, you'll encounter countless unique creatures known as Animu? I'm gonna keep on saying Amiibo. Anyway, twine with them. What? intertwine with them and experience the beauty of this world from a completely new perspective and with new abilities. You can also travel to a metropolis floating in the sky while you meet other Pathfinders, share stories, and engage in thrilling competitive battles. Choose your amiibo and embark on an epic journey, one full of exploration, discovery, and adventure. I'm never gonna try, because it's an amiibo. That's the end of my freaking story. More free-to-play, more monster catching. This is an RPG called Digimon Up, announced for iOS and Android due at sometime this year. A highly anticipated new entry in the Digimon series built around the concept of a Digimon journey that moves with your life. So this is like Pokemon Go, I guess. The game even comes with a brand new pixel art, and you only capture lots of familiar Digimon components while playing. Each Digimon is unique, so be sure to pick the right partner for you. Power up! Feed and train your partner to make them stronger. Keep Digivolving until you reach Mega Digi-Evolution. Raise and battle Digimon, claim victory, enjoy tons of familiar features, including Digimon cards and Digivices. I'm thinking because it moves with your life, that again, it's kind of like Pokemon Go, and then I see these like little pedometer thingamaboppers down here, so like they almost look like a Tamagotchi back then, like middle school. So yeah, gosh, I'm bringing y'all back to the 90s in this episode here. Can we get some console games released? Like, oh my gosh, the Xbox Showcase, free to play, free to play, free to play, free to play, free to play. Wuthering Waves coming to Xbox Series in July. It's a free to play open world action RPG. It first launched for the PC via client download, Epic Game Store, iOS, Android on 2024, followed by PS5 in 2025. Steam release followed in April of 2025. The PC version will also come to Microsoft Store alongside an Xbox Series launch. So if you are a Wuthering Waves player and you are an Xbox player, then you will want to get this for that. What is happening to the genre that I love? Free to play. It's like a cancer. Neverness to Everness PS5 pre-orders now available. We have a latest character introduction of some girl that I'm not going to try to pronounce. Okay, so here's the brief overview of the game for this free-to-play game. Okay, this is what the game is about, apparently. So listen closely to what the game is about. Maybe you'll be able to describe it back to me, because I have no frickin' clue. My God. As the appraiser and member of IBON, you must have received your first commission. We're sure you have questions about the job. It is true that anomaly hunters are often asked to help solve problems and deal with all sorts of anomalies, like Misties, who are up to no good and preventing customers from getting hot pot, or aura punchers, who eagerly crave to fight passerbys in a tournament. Some even define anomaly hunters as those who take commissions related to anomalies. Well, duh, you're an anomaly hunter! All these people can see is that anomaly hunters are always running to their next commission. However, appraiser, it's up to you to find your own definition and to spend more time at IBON. One might say that the clients of this commission consist of everybody from IBON. Listen to your voice within and move at your own pace as you take it all in. The city with your trust will in time reward you with days that are vibrant, colorful, and worth remembering. What? What? Okay, I have no idea what Everness to Everness is about, but that is your overview of the game. Do with that information what you will. I personally love RPG Maker. I first got RPG Maker back on the PlayStation 1, and I spent many an hour sitting there building my own RPG. I spent easily 500 hours building my own RPG, and then I saved it to a Dex drive. I had to go to Best Buy, and I bought a Dex drive. It was physically a thing that you hooked up to your computer, and then you put the memory card into it, and then it uploaded your memory card onto your computer. Then from there, you can upload that file to a website, and then other people could download your game and play it. And I uploaded my game, Angels of Rizarin, to rpgmakermagazine.com. I have no idea if it still exists. But a couple of years back, I actually Twitch streamed it, and I made a video about it too. So yeah, I spent many hours making up RPG Maker games and things like that. It was such a good time. But now we have a new RPG Maker. Again, I'm bringing it back to the 90s. This teaser shows the series' traditional 2D style role-playing game creation evolve into a newer HD 2D style, akin to games like Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, and Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake. Twitter accounts for the new project were also launched in English and Japanese. This thing looks freaking cool. If I actually had time to, create my own RPG, I would totally do it in something like this because it looks so much fun. And I'm sure it's so much easier to create an RPG nowadays, especially if you have keyboard access. Back in the day, whenever I made my RPG on the PlayStation, we didn't have a keyboard. You literally had to use your controller to move over to each button on the keyboard to type in all the dialogue, and it took forever. It took freaking forever, but I had so much fun playing that. And yeah, my game was really good, if I do say so much. It had a class system. It had a way to change party members whenever you really shouldn't have been able to change party members. Had an overworld map. I finagled a system to create an overworld map in a game where you weren't really supposed to have an overworld map. I did all these workarounds to make it really cool, make it the way that I wanted it to be. This was just about the only thing. Well, no, there was this and something else that got me excited at the Xbox showcase that we saw. Still not too excited, but it was something. Hades 2 coming to the PS5, Xbox on April the 14th. It's currently already available for the Switch, Switch 2, and PC. The first ever sequel to the Supergiant games builds on the best aspects of the original godlike roguelike dungeon crawler, an all-new action-packed, endlessly replayable experience rooted in the underworld of Greek myth and its deep connections to the dawn of witchcraft. As the immortal princess of the underworld, you'll explore a bigger, deeper mythical world, vanquishing the forces of the Titan of Time with the full might of Olympus behind you, in a sweeping story that continually unfolds through your every setback and accomplishment. So if you like bullet hell, roguelikes, and things like that, this looks like a good time. I said that there was 2 games that excited me during the Xbox showcase. This is the other one. Grave Seasons launches on August the 14th with a demo coming soon. Coming out for the PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. It says, after a treacherous escape from jail, you've made it to your new home in Ashen Ridge, an idyllic town with something mysterious with some seriously unsettling vibes. While trying to establish your new farming life and embed yourself in the neighborhood, murders start to occur in the town, putting your new peaceful life at risk. Grave Seasons is a narrative-led farming sim with a terrifying twist. Someone in the town is a supernatural serial killer. So whenever I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is pixel art. Oh, this is really cute. Then I saw the portrait art, and I was like, that doesn't really match. You know what I mean? I feel like if the game is done in pixel art, then the portraits should also be done in the same pixel art. Otherwise, it's very jarring. And I don't like that jarring dichotomy between the two. Then I saw the horror aspect, the serial killer aspect, and I was like, oh, this really isn't my thing. At first I was like, oh, it's kind of like an action RPG with some farming aspects. Maybe it's something like Harvestella. No, ma'am, it is not. So, yeah, at first I was excited, then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. Another farming sim. Village in the Shade coming west this fall. Enjoy quiet countryside living as long as you follow the rules. Yeah, another horror aspect. Another farming sim, another horror thing happening here. I don't know if they develop these in tandem or something? I don't know, but this one's from Nisa. That one's from some other company, some other indie company. It says it's coming out for the PS5, Switch, Switch 2, PC, and Steam. Pre-orders for the limited edition are available now during the Nice online store for $90. It includes a copy of the game. Of course, Switch 2 is game keycard, even though we saw last week that Nisa canceled the game keycard for Starbytes, but now they're putting out the game keycard for this one? Make sense. I don't know. A collector's box, an art book, the digipack, original soundtrack, and a peg-type acrylic stand, a set of 5 enamel pins, and a sticker sheet. Welcome to Kagatsu, a Japanese mountain village with plenty of secrets. In this brand new, hand-painted farming sim, you'll plant crops, customize your homestead, and befriend a cast of intriguing characters. Relax by the brook, watch the cherry blossoms with your neighborhood, or take a stroll through town. With so many ways to relax, you're sure to feel right at home. Just make sure to follow the simple rules. Don't talk to strangers, don't leave the village, and whatever you do, do not go out at night. So let's look here at what we got going on with the collector's edition. This is the Switch version. Again, we have the soundtrack right there. We have an art book over here. We have the sticker sheet. We have little acrylic doodads and the collector's box for $90. I will include a link below for purchase. Pocket Mirror Goldener Trom coming to the PS4, PS5, currently available for the PC. A release date has not yet been announced. Welcome to a world of wonder and darkness, where reality and dreams intertwine and secrets lurk around every corner. Pocket Mirror is a surreal indie adventure game that will take you on a journey through a mysterious realm where nothing is what it seems and everything is connected. As a young girl with a clouded past, you wake up in a strange and eerie mansion with nothing but your pocket mirror in hand. In search of your memories, you must explore the twisted corridors and rooms of the mansion, solve puzzles, interact with unique characters, and uncover the truth behind your identity and the sinister forces that are at play. Will you be able to face the truth? And in our final story, I had to spend literally like 3 minutes off camera just trying to pronounce this word right there, and I still don't think I have it right, but like, my god. Iris Odyssey Hephaestus' Ring launches on May the 29th. Modern-day Shibuya set fantasy visual novel has been dated. Fuka, an orphan girl living in Shibuya, is searching for her only family member, her missing brother Mitsuba. Along her journey, she awakens her hidden magical powers. Meanwhile, Iris, a seasoned magic investigator, is pursuing a criminal organization of rogue sorcerers known as the Sky Seekers. Her investigation leads her to take an interest in her brother and her sister, in this brother and sister duo, who appear to be connected to the group. As Fuka and Iris go closer, they come to share a bond like family. Will this bond be enough to shatter the conspiracy that awaits them? Join Fuka and Iris in a modern fantasy adventure filled with destiny, intrigue, and magic in the opening chapter of Iris Odyssey Hephaestus' Ring. So it says it's a visual novel, but then here it says the opening chapter. Is it like part 1 of this visual novel? It also says that it's going to be in English, so don't worry about that. I'm just wondering if this is like a part 1 or a part 2, if this is an anime or something. I don't know. I have no idea if it's an anime or not. But yeah, I'm just wondering why it's like, part 1. Just kind of odd right there. But anyway, that's it for the news. Thank you so much for joining me. Always a good time with y'all, and have a good day.